Steve here with ICRPG Behind the DM Screen. I created this channel recently because I am an old school D&D guy who grew up in the 70s and 80s playing it, got out of it for about 3 decades, and just recently came back into the hobby as a player with Dungeons & Dragons 5e. I bought the handbook, I bought the Dungeon Master's Guide, Monster Manual, a few other things, and just started delving into it. Found a local group near Greenville, South Carolina, and yeah, we were playing it, and I don't know, there was just something that just didn't seem quite as fun as it was back in the 80s. And I couldn't put my finger on it until I believe it was Matt Colville sort of put his finger on it. And it seems that the new versions of D&D are much more player-centric than DM-centric. And that's not to say that it's not for the enjoyment of the players or wasn't, back in the old days. But what I mean is that the rules, it seems, the DM job is really hard. And so once you start adding all this stats, it's almost like those folks that are really into baseball cards, where like they just memorize all these stats and everything like that. Got to be a little bit overwhelming and took some of the fun out. So I was looking for an alternative system for that. I was actually starting to create my own, and that's when I came across ICRPG, or Index Card RPG. And so far this community has been really great. Everybody's been super nice, super welcoming, and I love that it's an open platform. Now again, we won't be talking about the whole OGL thing here. That's not what this channel's for. What this channel is for is that I want to go from being a player to being a DM. I've never DM'd, I've always just been a player, and it's time for me to step up into it and start, designing campaigns and doing all kinds of fun, cool stuff. And so I hope to do that on this journey, and I hope you join with me. Feel free to comment below as we go, but you'll see me behind the scenes, behind the DM screen, as I work on honing the craft, developing campaigns. I'll be asking questions, I'll be asking for input on, hey, this mechanism seems kind of interesting, or maybe there's a little hiccup here. How do you deal with this? How do you deal with that? And I hope this is sort of a community event. So join me as I go from being a newbie player to hopefully a seasoned DM. Thanks for watching. Stay tuned to see what else is rolling along here at ICRPG Behind the DM Screen.